19 or 20, I became a born-again Christian. The dunk, the whole thing was like, oh my God, life's amazing, Jesus. I studied apologetics for a long period of time, and then I was really sad.
This video has been going viral recently because people are talking about it. Alex Hormozi used to be a Christian and apparently studied apologetics for 5 years and came to a conclusion that all of it is BS, apparently. Essentially, there's no reason to live, but somehow he has some purpose, apparently. It's crazy. So we're going to be reacting to it and trying to debunk some of his claims. Let's get right into it.
19 or 20, I became a born-again Christian. The dunk, the whole thing was like, oh my God, life's amazing, Jesus is great. And then I ended up falling away from that because I was like, I don't know if this is true. And then I spent the next 5 years dedicated to apologetics, which is defense of faith, of the Christian faith. So just learning the arguments around like why Christianity like is true, right? I ended up not believing in it, and I can give a variety of reasons, but I'll give you the simplest one. Hopefully I'm not insulting anyone. This is just my belief that I'm sharing, which is one of the strongest arguments for Christianity against other world religions is that other world religions say like, if you go to the good place, so if you do a good job, you go to the good place, right? And fundamentally it's a hard paradigm because it means that like at what point are you 51% good versus 49%? Should I have just held one more door open and I would have gone to the good place forever, right? Not even talking about like finite circumstance and creating infinite outcomes, but like whatever. And so if you can draw that line, then it kind of makes it ridiculous, right? It like kind of breaks down on the like be a good person system, right? And so that's all worldviews with the exception of Buddhism and Christianity.
I don't even know how Buddhist is in there, but which is a great point that he's bringing up. Christianity is different because it's not based on merit. It's based on what Jesus did for you on the cross. But then his conclusion is just so wild and out there. I'm like, what are you doing? But maybe he has a hard time with belief. But
with Christianity, they're like, you don't have to be good, you just have to have faith. And if you have faith in Jesus, then you go to the good place, right? And so the reason that for me, fundamentally, I didn't believe in that was because you actually create another false binary, which is believe or not believe, when in reality is to what extent you believe. It's how hard you believe. And again, you create another
No, it's not. It's about, do you put your faith and trust in Jesus over yourself? Do you ask Jesus to forgive you of your sins? It's realizing that you can't make it to heaven on your own. That's why you need a savior. Not about how hard do you believe. No, people have doubts all the time. That doesn't mean I'm not saved because I may be in a moment of doubt. No, it's because I put my faith and trust in Jesus and realize that I can't do it on my own. I can't make it to heaven on my own. But Jesus paid the price. So I'm going to seek to have a relationship with him. It's not about if I can just utter enough belief into my system. I think that's a very false claim there.
Percent line, which is should I believe 1% more, and then I would go into the good place forever, right? So anyways, the point is that I studied apologetics for a long period of time, and then I was really sad, and I was just like, fuck being sad. And I was like, fuck happiness. I was like, I'm just going to do stuff that I think is cool. And that was like the first break in the chain for me.
It seems like, I'm sorry, but it just literally seems like things weren't going well for him while he was being a Christian. And he's like, that's it. I'm going to do whatever I want because being a Christian is not helping me do well in life. So I'm just going to do whatever I want.
My slogan to myself was actually just fuck happiness. And that was wildly freeing because I stopped judging myself for not being happy. And then I was just like, oh, I'm like, I'm unhappy. I'm like, cool, whatever. And I just kept going. And all of a sudden it just like stopped mattering to me. Like, I don't think about it. I genuinely, like, I don't think like, does this make me happy? Does it not? Like, I don't think about it.
You just do what you want to do in the moment.
Just do whatever I feel like doing. And it's not like it's like all short-term, like all pleasure seeking, whatever. Like I still have a long-term perspective of like, this is what I want to build.
Yeah.
Like I want to write these books. I want to build these courses. I want to do this stuff, but it's like, those are things that I enjoy. So that's what I do.
I love it. That's great. All right. I don't have anything.
Most people, like, of course you're going to love it if you don't have a relationship with Jesus and you don't want to submit to authority and you want to be your own God. So you just, like you said, he just does whatever he wants to do. That's pride. That's essentially what Satan did. He wanted to be as God, which is not having to submit to some authority, and therefore he could do whatever he want to do. It's good. It's nice, until it's not.
I mean, I had questions, but now I know the answers to them just based off your.
I'm just listening.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just listen and not say anything.
I know,
Like, I don't want to mess it up. But then I created a belief that now I'm going to mess it up. So
Oh, God. Why does it matter, man?
Why does it even matter that I messed it up to begin with?
Doesn't. And you can't mess it
And
up.
then the comments are going to be, Grant messed it up. And then they're going to be the comments. Why does that matter?
I know it's
man.
crazy stuff, but like I think that like if you want to, like you can't do what 99% of people are doing if you want to be in the 1%.
Yeah.
Like fundamentally. And so like you have to have like what I would consider like maybe uncomfortable conversations, just be like, that's okay. Like, cool. Like I'm going to do my thing. And then they're like, and the thing is a lot of times if you just make your statements of like, this is how I believe, like people feel like you're attacking them, especially if you articulate it well. Because they're like, well, I don't, I'm like, cool. Like, I don't give a shit. Like do whatever you want. Like it's all good to me. And so which is why I don't talk about it as much publicly.
How about this? Yeah.
I don't think that you're attacking anyone. It's just a fundamental flaw within your argument about belief. And I think if people hear your opinion because you're a popular figure and they're going to be like, well, I don't know if I have enough belief either, then I'm going to speak out to that and be like, well, it's not necessarily about how much you believe. Yes, you do need to believe. It says whoever believes in Jesus will be saved. But it's not just based off of merit again. It's by literally, are you putting your trust in yourself or are you putting your trust in Jesus? That's the difference.
What bothers you? There's got to be something out there that like...
I also have
People
another
wasting
question.
my time.
People wasting your time. That's a really good answer.
that's a
That's a
good
great
one,
answer, yeah.
Yeah. It's the only thing I don't have a lot of.
This may seem like a silly question, but if you go to a restaurant and you order something, let's say you order a steak and you order it medium well, and it comes back medium rare.
Yeah.
Do you say something?
It's not worth his time.
No, I don't actually.
Yeah.
You don't.
No. Why would I? I don't care.
But at the same time, I was like, well, a lot of people would be anxious to say something, and I figured you probably wouldn't care about those emotions, right?
I wouldn't even have an emotion first. I mean, that's
Yeah,
such a
I
non.
wouldn't
Yeah,
care. I
yeah.
really
I mean, maybe like like we have a big ad campaign that's supposed to go out, and like I get all the creatives the day before, and it's supposed to launch. Like, would that annoy me? I would be like, yes.
Because then it would be wasting your time because you'd have to do something over and that would take more time.
But let's fix it. Like this is bad. We can't run this. Let's try again. And in the end, it won't matter because we're all going to die, and this money is going to go back to the game. I'll give you this one analogy. This might be a good wrap up. So this is like my mental analogy that I don't know, makes sense to me, which is like if life were a game, right? And all of us are given a token to like enter like a casino because we're in Vegas, right? And so we all get a token. We enter the casino and we sit down at the table to play poker, right? And everybody's playing. Everybody's got cards, and all of we're dealt cards. Everybody's dealt different cards, and we got to play the hand we're dealt. And depending on our level of skill, we amass more and more chips throughout the game, right? And at the end of the game, the difference between the real world and the casino in the game of life, right? In the real world, you go and you can cash out your chips and you walk out with money, and there you go. There's your day. But I feel like in the casino of life, you get tapped on the shoulder by the Grim Reaper, and he says, your time's up. And then all your chips get pushed right back to the middle of the table. And then you leave the casino empty-handed because it was a fake game with fake rules that didn't matter. And
That's nihilism, and it's true to some extent because we can't keep any of the stuff that we have accumulated here on this earth. But that doesn't mean that your life doesn't matter if there is a soul. If there's a soul, there's something after you die. And that's something that we all have to come to grips with. Will you be okay with dying then? Will you be okay with the nothingness of life if you are right? But if you're wrong, will you be okay with being separated from God for eternity? I don't think so.
like we accumulate these chips that I'm just going to push back in the middle again that other people are going to play on. And like the reason that analogy became real for me is like I bought this piece of land in Austin, and I was like, that's neat. And then I was like, how many people have owned this piece of land? It's like the guy, the guy before me owned it, and the guy before him owned it, and the guy before him owned it. And I was like, and they were like, this is mine. And then they die or they sell it, and someone was like, this is mine. It's like, They're just chips that just get played with, and they just get amassed and then they get redistributed. It just doesn't matter. Like death taxes everybody 100%. So like everyone's like estate planning. It's like, dude, 500 generations from now, like your offspring are, 500 to the, 0.5 or, 1/2 to the 500th power of like diluted. They're basically just humans at that point. So if your wealth somehow is big enough that it can be diluted that much, and last that long, the people who own it are just humans. So they're just as close to me as you are. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, right? And then the alternative is the people that I'm giving this to are just the ones that I care about are the immediate family. But then when people get resources that they didn't learn how to use or manage, then it destroys them because it's too much potential energy. They can't handle it, right? And so it's like, it's really for nothing. And so like, if you want, you can build something that you think is cool. But like at the end of the day, like we're just going to cash the chips in. So anyways, Alex's worldviews, but
Wow, it's a great analogy.
just
a lot to think about this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch this.
But like
Okay. Yeah, that's great and all. If there is no God, if it's just physical matter and energy, if we just live in a material world, but if there's a supernatural world, there are consequences to your actions. There are things that literal can affect your entire life throughout eternity. So I have a Bible verse here that I want to pull up. And he's kind of right about some stuff. I don't get how he finds any purpose. Matthew 6:19-20 says, "Don't store up treasures here on earth where moths eat them and rust destroys them, and where thieves break in and steal. Store your treasures in heaven where moths and rust cannot destroy, and thieves do not break in and steal. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be." So guys, yes, it's good to work hard and to be able to provide for your family, but also at the end of the day, we all will end up in the grave 6 feet under. That's why it's so important on what you do for eternity. What you do spiritually matters so, so much. And that's why I want to give you an opportunity to seek Jesus and to have a relationship with him. If you've never decided to follow Jesus and you've never asked Jesus to forgive you of your sins, I encourage you to do that today. In the description below, you can click a link to help you to decide to follow Jesus for the first time. I encourage you to do that, guys. It will be the best decision you could ever make. And also in the description below, you can click a link to help you to decide. No. And also, guys, subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I know we can do it with your help. So thank you all so much for the love and support by doing this, making this channel happen. Anyway, guys, love and appreciate you all. Have an amazing day. God bless.